Welcome to the Sellin' Podcast with Jeffrey Greif. Jeffrey has spent more than 45 years in sales and marketing. And for more than 25 years, he's presented sales seminars from large corporations to small businesses, as well as teaching university students all about the pride and passion of sales. Now, he's sharing that knowledge and practical advice with you to fast-track your journey to sales success. Whether you're selling a product, a service, or ideas, this is the Sellin' Podcast. And now your host, Jeffrey Greif.
Maestro, please. Follow up, follow up, follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. Follow up, follow up, follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, 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 follow 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 up, follow up, up, up. If you want to be a salesman, then you've got to follow up. If you want to build your business, then you've got to follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, up, up. You got to follow up, follow up, follow up. About a year or so ago, I bought golf clubs at a PXG golf store not far from my home. I was fitted for 4 new golf clubs, a driver, a 3-wood, a 5-wood, and a 7-wood. I love that 7-wood. I love them all, and I'm hitting them great. When I was being fitted for those golf clubs by the salesman, he told me that there was some aspect of my swing that he'd like to correct so that I can hit these clubs even better than I was hitting them during the fitting. I was very excited about this. He suggested that I pay for 3 additional golf lessons with him within the next month or so. And believe me when I tell you I was thrilled to do so. The next day, I sent him an email to schedule the follow-up golf lessons. No response. I sent him a second email. No response. I called him 5 times. No returned call. I sent him 3 more emails and I texted him on his cell phone. No response. Now, think about it. Do I just feel neutral about this salesman not following up with me after he said that he would? No. I hate this guy, and I will never, ever buy golf clubs from him or his store ever again. That's how I feel about it. And that's the most important follow-up consideration. When you tell your clients and prospects that you are going to follow up with them, make damn sure that you follow up with them. Here's another example. I met a t-shirt designer who told me that he designs and distributes t-shirts for businesses, including podcast creators like me. I told him I didn't know anyone else who does that. And at some point, I would like to design a t-shirt so that my listeners can purchase Sellin' Podcast t-shirts. I called him a couple of times. Guess what? He never followed up with me. When I went to Podfest in Orlando to learn more about creating and distributing a podcast, I met the professionals from 1-800-T-shirts. They made it easy. I have their contact information, and they keep in touch with me. They followed up with me immediately. Guess who will be designing and distributing the Sellin' Podcast t-shirts? 1-800-T-shirts, of course. When I have the t-shirt designed and created and ready for distribution through a link in the Sellin' Podcast show notes, I will let you all know. Now, here's another example. I saw some young people at an office building parking lot about a year or so ago, and they were washing cars. I was curious about that, so I approached them, and I spoke with the owner of the car wash company, and he told me that they go to various office buildings to make it easy for people to have their cars washed while they are at work, so they don't have to sit in line, especially during the weekends, to get their cars washed and detailed. I love this idea. I told them I hate sitting in line at the car washes during the weekends and that I'd be happy to introduce him not only to the owners of office buildings and their property managers who I know, but also my golf club and my friends' golf clubs as well. Wow, would I love to get my car washed and detailed while I'm playing golf, finish my round, have lunch, and drive home in a clean car? Fantastic. I would love that. I gave him my business card, and he never followed up with me. It's a pandemic. Almost nobody follows up with their clients and prospects. Believe me, if you do, you will stand out from the crowd. My business coach, Tom Kelly of Brian Tracy International, has taught me, if you don't follow up after the meetings that you have, you just might as well not have had the meetings to begin with. There are 5 follow-up considerations that every salesperson must know. Number 1, as noted in my PXG Golf Club story, when you tell a client that you are going to follow up with them, make sure you follow up with them. Also, when you tell a client they'll have a product or a service delivered at a certain time and date, make sure you do. I recently had dropped my iPad and cracked the frame. I sent it in for service at an independent tech fix store. Believe it or not, I went to the Apple store, and the Apple store that I went to just couldn't be bothered. So I went to an independent tech fix store. Salesman at the independent tech fix store told me I'd have the iPad fixed and ready for pickup last Thursday. I texted him on Thursday morning to confirm that it would be in working condition and ready for me to pick up on Thursday afternoon. He said yes. So I gave them an extra day. On Friday, I drove 40 minutes to their store to pick it up. And you guessed it, they still didn't have it ready. Ugh. Consideration number 2, when a client asks you to follow up with them, make sure you follow up with them. Every 5 years or so, I buy myself a new blue blazer from Brooks Brothers. I'm wearing one right now. If you are a salesman and don't currently own a blue blazer, go out today and buy yourself a Brooks Brothers blue blazer. They wear like iron and are the most professional sports jackets you can wear. And these sports jackets are so versatile. I love my Brooks Brothers blue blazers. You can wear them professionally with a pair of gray slacks and white shirt and tie, or throw them on with a pair of jeans and a polo shirt on a Saturday night. Every 5 years or so, I buy myself a new blue blazer from Brooks Brothers. I bought a new blue blazer about 6 months ago. And when I did, I asked the tailor to throw in several additional stitches into the upper front button, as I am continuously opening and closing that button all day long as I am making sales calls. Sure enough, after a few weeks, the button fell off, and I noticed he had only thrown in the usual 2 stitches sewn into that button. Ay, such an easy request. And he just didn't care. Will I continue to buy blue blazers from Brooks Brothers? Of course I will. Will I ever use the services of that Brooks Brothers tailor again? Not if he were the last tailor on earth. Here's another example. I recently had a client of mine ask me to speak with one of the specialists in my office and have that specialist give my client a call. I spoke with the specialist, I explained the situation, and I asked him to call the client. I followed up a couple of days later, and am I glad I did. I called the specialist in my office 3 days later to see how the conversation went. And he said, "Oh, I called your client 3 days ago. He wasn't available, so I left a message. I never heard back from him." No. You gotta follow up. He's the client. You gotta follow up. I had the specialist call him back immediately. And then I called the client to follow up with his request. I called the client and left a message and he never called me back? Are you kidding me? When a client asks you to call them and keep calling them until you speak with them. I left a message and he never got back to me. You got to be kidding me. Oh. Consideration number 3. When a prospect asks you to follow up with them, make sure you follow up with them. I am known in my industry for attending as many networking events that I can, and for being actively involved, taking leadership positions at several trade associations that I am involved with as well. And once a week or so, I invite professionals who I meet with at these trade association and networking events to meet me for informal cocktail hours for networking. I invite 8 or 10 people who I believe have the ability to refer business to one another. I make introductions and let the magic happen. I am always on the lookout for restaurants and country club venues where I can have these business cocktail at 5 get-togethers. 2-3 months ago, my beautiful bride and I were at a restaurant where they have a wonderful special events room adjacent to the main seating of the restaurant with its own bar. Perfect for my informal networking events. I spoke with the restaurant manager, explained my business needs, and asked them to call me to coordinate. Well, guess what? They never called me back. If they can't call me back after I specifically asked them, how are they going to have the ability to provide the services that I need for my business? If they don't care enough to call me back, then they don't care enough about my business and they won't get my business. This, in front of me right now, is the business card of the restaurant manager that I am ripping up and throwing away. Plenty of other venues who care enough to follow up with me when I ask them to do so. Bye-bye. Consideration number 4. Take the initiative. When following up with clients, follow up with them initiated by you. Take the initiative and follow up with your clients. Keep track of orders placed by clients and check in on them every so often. I just recently bought a new homeowner's policy for my house. The salesman told me that there was just one more thing I needed to do, which was to install a full house water leak shutoff device. I thought it was a pretty good idea, but I must not have been paying attention when he told me about it because I just figured I'd get around to it when I got around to it. The salesman followed up with me 3 or 4 emails, and I am so glad that he did, because when I got a letter from the insurance carrier that they were going to cancel my home insurance if I didn't install the unit by a certain date, I nearly had a nervous breakdown. I am very happy that this professional salesperson followed up with me. Also, when taking the initiative and following up with your clients, bring networking and trade association events to the attention of your clients. Schedule meetings just to catch up with one another. Ask your clients if they are pleased with your product or services. Ask them for more business. Ask them if they have any new hires at the firm who they can introduce you to. Ask them if they have met anyone in the industry who you should know, and if they feel comfortable making introductions. Yes, definitely take the initiative and follow up with your clients. Consideration number 5. Also, when it comes to prospects, take the initiative. Following up with them. Bring networking and trade associations to the attention of your prospects. Ask them for business. Ask them if they have any new hires at the firm who they can introduce you to. Ask them if they have met anyone in the industry who you should know, and if they'd feel comfortable making introductions. Sure, they aren't clients, but ask them anyway. You'll be surprised. They may just help you anyway. But you gotta ask. Consideration number 6. People who you network in the industry with, who you cannot send business to directly, and they cannot send you business directly, but you both have the opportunity to refer business opportunities to one another by making introductions to prospects who you may have the ability to do business with. These people are commonly known as referral partners. Follow up consistently with them as well. Know anyone who they may have an opportunity to do business with? Make introductions and consistently ask them if they know anyone who you may have an opportunity to do business with, and ask them to make introductions with you. Keep in touch. And when they ask you to make introductions, make sure you remember to do so. It will build trust and most likely keep you top of mind when they have the ability to introduce you to someone who they know who may be a client of yours in the future. I recently had the son of a client of mine call me and ask me for breakfast. And we talked about who we both may have an opportunity to do business with, networking together. This young man, this professional, isn't even in my industry. I'm happy to help him to prospect new business, and I am happy to have him prospect new business for me. But I gotta say, I never thought about it until he contacted me. He followed up with me, and he asked. Isn't that wonderful? We got together. He's not in my industry. I'm not in his industry. But we're getting together every so often to see if we may have the ability to refer business prospects to one another. That's wonderful. And speaking of asking, do you find the Sellin' Podcast helpful and of interest? If you do, please forward the link to a friend or business associate who you know would learn more about sales from listening to the Sellin' Podcast. Like and subscribe to the Sellin' Podcast so you won't miss a single episode. Now back to this episode of the Sellin' Podcast. Why is it so important to follow up with people? Follow up, follow up, follow up. Why is it so important to follow up with people? Because people are busy, of course, and no one sits around thinking about how they can help you to build your business. Your clients and your prospects and referral partners are happy to help you to build your business. They're happy to do more business with you. They're happy to make introductions to you with other people in the industry who you may have an ability to do business with. But you gotta ask. You have got to keep in touch. Give value and ask for the business. And make damn sure that when the time is right and people are ready to give you business, that it's easy for them to get in touch with you. I recently gave a sales seminar and looked up all of the participants, all of the attendees on social media. There were several people at this organization who were not on the company website. They were not on their company website, and I couldn't find them on LinkedIn. Believe me when I tell you, if they have a client or a prospect who is looking for their contact information in order to send them business or network with them, they are f***ing out of luck. Clients and prospects and referral partners are not going to spend a whole lot of time trying to find your contact information. Make sure that it's easy for people to find you. And better yet, keep in touch with your clients, keep in touch with your prospects, keep in touch with your referral partners. Follow up, follow up, follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, follow up, 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 follow up, follow up, up, up. Now get out there and sell.
We hope you found this episode of the Sellin' Podcast helpful and of interest. Please make sure to like, rate, and review. And mention this podcast to a friend or a business associate. Have a comment about this podcast? Have a topic you'd like Jeffrey to discuss? Feel free to contact Jeffrey directly at jeffrey@sellin.net. He'll read and review every one of your emails. That's jeffrey@sellin.net. .net as in networking for success in sales. Now, take what you've learned today and get out there and sell. See you next time. on the Selling Podcast.